Hey, everybody. Oh, yes, the Calm Chaos Controller is here. You are very much needed. I just woke up to World War III, I guess. Funny, everybody was so worried about me, like thinking like I was crying in a corner somewhere. Oh my God, dude. Come on, guys. You guys should know me better than that. I mean, I understand thinking I might be upset, but you should know me better than I hope believe a lot of this stuff. You know, I always come with receipts. I would love somebody to actually show proof where I've actually lied, absolute proof about instead of just words. It's always like, empty words. They don't mean anything unless you have anything to back it up. So it's just crazy to me like how I go over and above and beyond to prove everything I'm saying that it did happen like I say. And when I say something is the truth, it's the truth. When I tell you I trust somebody, I trust somebody. When I tell you I know for a fact somebody talked to, you know, talks to Lawson and has worked at the sheriff's department for 20 some years, it's true. I think many of you should know that. And I think many of you guys do. Many of my true supporters know that. Okay. I did talk to Cher briefly through Messenger. I don't know. She's just kind of acting like it's like she just lit a fire and stepped away and put her hands up and was like, wasn't me, wasn't me, I didn't do it. That's how she was acting in the messages. Like, first thing she says is like, if you want to talk privately tonight, or if you want to talk privately on a phone tomorrow, or publicly or on a live, let me know, but just not tonight. I sent 20 messages to her between the time I went live last night and when I woke up a couple hours ago. I sent an email, I sent emails, I made posts on her community wall, and I sent several messages to her messenger. Do you know that she did not even open the messenger until the second she got off her live? She wanted to be mad. I just don't get it. When I say disappointed, that's an understatement. What it is there's many subs, or not, I wouldn't say subs, like people, trolls, I guess, going back and forth and lying to her about what was said last night. Because if she actually would have heard and would have listened, she would have saw that it was nothing like she's letting her mind think it was. Yes, I did go live upset. And it was a mistake, which I said in several times in those 20 messages and emails and posts. However, I did not threaten to drag her. I did not threaten to find out everything I could to like ruin her. I did not threaten to call, people about her animal case or look into that or look into any lies that I think are lies. See, like I don't go around making statements unless I know it as a fact, okay? And I know I've only been on here since September, but I have more integrity than to come on here and lie about anything to do with a missing child. And I think many of you know that. But I think there's people who know that, but they just want the drama. So they, act like they don't know it. Because there's never been any proof of any lies for me. I'll drop the link and I'll love anybody to come up here and prove me wrong, and I'm very disappointed in Cher when she messaged me and told me, oh, we could talk tomorrow. I'm like, no, now. Are you kidding me? I just woke up to World War III. What are you doing? And Mark, as the voice of reason, doesn't sound like you were very reasonable. Why didn't you talk her out of this? If you are the more calm, passive one, then why didn't you talk to your wife and calm her down? I understand you might be I didn't even see any of it, guys. Zero. I saw 0 clips. If I did, I'm sure I would not be saying something like this right now. However, I did get messages from people and was told things about the Lawson thing real quick, and I'm sure it will be discussed. And I will drop the StreamYard link, but for right now, I just want people who are going to prove me wrong about anything. I need proof, like actual proof of lies. I want proof. Only those who support can come up later if they want. But you going on alive and saying statements does not make it accurate. Many people know that, and so I should say that it seems on YouTube not many people know that, but there are some. And because of that, so many people, some people are very careful about believing things that are said. And I think that's a good thing because there's so much misinformation on here. Think what you want, guys, but I'm not going to come on here and lie about or I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to come on here and lie and say that what I said about the Lawson thing and backing Michelle on that. I'm not going to say that was a lie because I truly don't believe it was a lie. I'm telling you guys my honest. You guys, I wish I could show you everything I have. It would really open some eyes. It really would. Michelle made me swear not to show it, and believe what you want. I don't care. But what's going to happen is it's going to come to, and Lawson does know all about this stuff going on, and told Michelle to stay off YouTube and to not worry about them and to stick with them, meaning Hawkins County, because, they're like a family since she did work there for like 27 years. Her and Lawson tell each other they love each other. As far as friendships, they all say that, because like she told me, you don't know if you're coming home that day in that field. A YouTuber or somebody from the general public, which I have text messages between Michelle and Lawson, by the way, where he talks about this phone call to Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, where he states that he did not talk to Cher, that she talked to his secretary, and that told Michelle to not to block her and not ignore her and don't worry about her, because, and then said she's not even in America, or they're not even in America. How he knows that, I don't know. However, I had those since this morning, or I don't know. Let me make sure what time it was. When I promise somebody, okay, it was this afternoon around so they were messaging around 1:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this afternoon. They were also messaging this morning. I didn't get all their messages, but I got the ones from this afternoon when they were talking about the Cher situation. I have Michelle had her, listen, this is what I did. Okay, Michelle had her Facebook open completely. It, like, you could go through everything. All kinds of pictures there of her and different deputies and sheriffs, and from the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. All kinds of stuff were her talking about her job on the sheriff's department. And it showed that she worked there for 27 years, and she retired a few years 2016. However, there's still, Lawson's worked there for a long time. She sent me a picture of them together from, like, it looked like freaking, man, it looked like early 90s or something. That's what it looked like, but probably it couldn't have been, because 27 years, 2016. Let's see. So 2000, 1990. What was it, about 1990-ish? 1989. Am I doing the math right? I don't know. I'm not looking at the chat right now, because I want to get this out first and tell my true feelings on this without being distracted. Okay, because this is important. To me, character and your word is so much more important than anything else. If I say something, I guarantee that is the truth as I know it at that time. If anything changes, I always let you guys know. And if I'm ever wrong, I own it, I say it, and I apologize. I don't see anybody else doing that. because I see a very much a lack of character on YouTube and a lack of accountability, a lack of shame, a lack of shame. These people seem to have no shame. I still do not plan on talking bad about Cher. I'm sure I would want to if I saw what she was saying. I did send her some choice words where, she tried to tell me that how bad my behavior was or something. I don't know. I mean, it was laughable in comparison to what I hear went on over there. I mean, come on. I was defending her in my chat last night at the same time saying how disappointed I was in her. I was not sitting there saying, "Oh, let's dig into her life and let's really say what happened with her charge and case, or let's see, let's really dig into her relationship with Don Wells. Let's see what that was, I mean, no, but not, and that's what I hear that she was doing. Calling the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department and talking to his secretary is not a statement from Lawson. Of course, she's going to say, I didn't even hear the recording, but I am so confident in what Michelle's telling me and showed me that I know pretty much what really happened. So, and also, there's a couple people that I trust that kind of, told me what was said. Kind of like she called and asked if Lawson said something about 4 hours. And then she says, oh, or said something like, I don't think he would say that, or he wouldn't say that, or something like that. That is not a statement from Lawson. When Cher was really mad because I told her, I said to her, here, how about let me play my messages to her, because that was how I was really feeling at the time. And right now, after calming down for a couple hours, because I actually slept through the whole thing because I was up until, I guess, afternoon time. I thought it was late morning. Hold on, guys. Hold on, 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this pulled up for you guys. Sorry. I'm okay. I'm just 1 second. Okay. So I'll just like let you guys hear what I was. Here, let me see. Wait, I want to see. I was like pretty upset when I first heard what was going on. When um, I need to see, listen to. Hold on. Okay, well, I'm just gonna how do you rewind? Okay, okay. I was trying to figure out how to rewind a voice clip. Hey everybody, I'm sorry. I'm just they do that. It's 3 for me or 3 hearts for me or whatever. I feel like they do it because people have a hard time believing that anybody on YouTube really has any type of morals or good character, or they have a hard they a lot of the people think that are so determined to think that I am just lying about the type of person I am, and I'm really not, who I say I am. They just always want to like prove it, but it just never actually prove it. It's always like words. You guys, by the way, um the Michelle thing that happened here, and I'll go ahead and just show everybody that before I get to these messages that I said, so you can hear like actually my thought process when I was hearing what was going on. And I was pretty upset, you have to remember, because I've calmed down a lot since then, in the last couple hours. But I want to show you guys real quick what happened, what actually happened, and how Michelle actually ended up on my panel that day. Because I think there's a lot of confusion about how that even happened. And I'm pretty disappointed in a couple people that they actually think, I mean, they would actually believe some of this stuff, because these people know they can, a couple of them know they can text me at any time and I will prove to them what I am saying. I mean, there's some things I can't show publicly about this situation because I wish I could. I wish I could show you the freaking texts I had between Lawson and freaking Michelle. I wish so bad I could. This is how Michelle ended up on my panel Saturday. Okay? For you conspiracy theorists. No, you didn't disappoint me. No, I mean, I'm a couple. When I say I'm disappointed in people, I mean in a couple people. I mean a couple creators that I actually thought were like the good ones. You know what I mean? Like actually had some morals and integrity. You know, didn't just do what got clicks and views. But I almost felt like with Cher that she didn't want to listen to my messages or read my messages because she wanted to be mad. Now I think it's fair that she went live and I told her that because I did go live. However, I didn't say anything bad about her. Queenie, I'm not. I don't know where you're getting that I'm worried. But I have I think I have a responsibility to respond to what's being said. You know, it's not a worry, it's just my side. I mean, come on. All you have to do is listen to the more rational person talking more rationally than just like yelling and screaming and thinking of all the hateful things you can do to them. It just doesn't make sense why anybody would believe something like that. Because when somebody's that angry, because I mean, oh, Michelle was there, Scotty. Michelle was there, but Lawson told her not to comment on it. Michelle was in shares. She wanted to go up there and she wanted to prove everything, trust and believe that. No, you didn't hurt me ever. You didn't hurt me at all, Quinny, but that's nice of you. No, Peggy, that's not true. See, this is the problem, guys. You guys believe things that people say. You did not hear Lawson say that, Peggy. You did not hear him say that. Are you serious? You're going by somebody's word. When I've showed you, you're going by a recording of her talking to a secretary. You're not hearing it from Lawson. Do you think that? Besides, do you think Lawson's going to come on and tell a YouTuber anything? He refers everybody to the media. He doesn't have time to talk to all these people. Why are you guys wasting his time about this freaking drama bullshit? It doesn't make sense. Does anybody freaking on this platform have any type of integrity or freaking morals? Why are these people calling law enforcement and bogging down the system with bullshit? That's what I'm most mad about. We have a missing girl. Stop calling about this bullshit. It's so maddening. And stop just believing everything you hear. Look, actually do critical thinking. This is how Michelle, and I didn't mean that. Oh, there is some people with very good character in my chat, and I have some very good but I mean like freaking the creators. It's unreal. Disappointment after disappointment. I mean, you guys, I mean, these people know better. And you will hear my reaction to share and my passion and how I was. You guys, I show you everything I say behind the scenes. What I say right here is how things happen beyond the scenes, behind when the computer is turned off. I am me at all here. I prove it. I prove that I'm the same everywhere. What I say is the same. I don't see anybody else doing that. I'm seeing a bunch of fakes and two-faced people. If I tell you that Michelle asked to come up on panel to ask Benny a question, that's what fucking happened. This is what happened. Here's a text. Why am I always proving myself and nobody else does? You don't just put out freaking slanderous bullshit and not prove what you're saying. Calling Lawson and bothering him so you can have content is ridiculous. I understand you want to be right, but we're all human and we all make mistakes, and all of us are wrong at times. There is nothing wrong with saying that you were wrong and apologizing. It's not a big deal. And that's what I feel like is going on with Cher. She's so determined and wants me to prove or to say so bad that I was lying about this, about what I know about this Lawson thing. And it's just so not true. What she said, I'm not going to lie about the truth. That's just, I'm sorry. I have more integrity than that. I always try to follow what I feel is right at the time. Sometimes I'm wrong because I'm human, just like you guys, just like Lawson. So, but I own it. I'm trying to be a better person every day. That's why my life has changed so immensely from 10, 15, 20 years ago. Why I have things. I own things. I don't have to freaking live in somebody's house with them. And my daughter, and I don't have to freaking, I have a license. I have a vehicle. I have things. Because I'm willing to take responsibility for my fucking mistakes and learn from them. If you can't learn from your mistakes, then you will never move forward in your life. You will remain stuck. There is nothing wrong with freaking being wrong. And if I find out that anything that Michelle said was not true in any way, I will freaking tell you guys. I guarantee it. I promise. But she has proved herself beyond any doubt for me. Believe it or not, I don't care. My channel is not about trying to become famous on YouTube. I come on here and talk about similar interest with you guys because I don't have anybody in my real life with similar interest that want to hear it. So I truly believe, which is something I've stuck with me, and I know this is hilarious, and I know we've heard a lot about Benny lately, but one thing he said just has stuck with me in one of those videos I played. I mean, it just stuck with me because it is so freaking true. More friends, more problems. People, it's almost that's why do you guys think I'm such a loner in my real life? Besides the fact I was in a relationship for 9 years, and he was a little bit controlling, but no, I like being alone. I don't like people for the most part, and what I'm learning especially from YouTube is there is way more bad people than good. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Not bad people, but people who are, I guess, way more. Okay, let's say this. Not bad, because that's not true. I'd say there's more good than bad, but there there's a lot of good people. Basically, kind of like what I told Cher, that I believe she's a freaking good person, but just I don't know. There's a lot of good people who just refuse, who let their pride get in the way, don't think about the bigger picture, focusing on what does not matter, focusing on material things. But if they would change their focus just a tiny bit, they would they would be amazing people, because it's not like I've always been the best of person in my life. We could all change. I haven't always been one that was like wanting to always do the next right thing. You guys don't worry about me, because I mean, I'm serious. When I will tell you if and you will know if I'm in a bad place, like mentally. But if you just do what you feel is the right thing, and you keep heading towards that, then and and apologizing for things you did wrong, like I tried to do with Cher, but she refused to read it when I said, hey, I should not have gone live last night. That was a mistake. What's so fucking hard about saying you made a mistake? Doesn't make you it doesn't make you a bad person. It's not embarrassing. You shouldn't be embarrassed or feel that way anyways, because everybody does it. Everybody makes mistakes. And only those who are able to learn from their mistakes, well, admit it first, learn from them, and not do it again, are the ones that grow and evolve to wise people. We are here, obviously, we're not here to fuck off and just buy whatever, get as much money as we can and screw over as many people as we can. We're here to learn. Freaking, I mean, come on. I don't understand. There is so many people like just so fucked up in this world. If you guys think that I'm a bad person, you got me fucked up. You got me wrong. I'm telling you. If you guys think that I have, letting your mind go wild and crazy and just thinking that there's always some type of conspiracy to everything and there's got it, it's just, that's what I see a lot here on YouTube is people always are freaking letting their minds like freaking go crazy. They aren't willing to accept like the most clear and practical answer. They've got to make it into so much more complicated and dramatic than it is because they want the excitement. That's what's exciting. So that's why, people on here exaggerate so much because it's way more interesting than the truth. I haven't seen any of the comments, you guys. Please don't be. Oh, thank you, Becca. She said, for this too shall pass. Oh my God, she sent it so long ago. Are you in here? Is Becca in here? That is so sweet. She sent it at like 8 p.m. I wish you could reply on Cashapp and leave messages for people because I feel bad now. It's been 6 hours since she sent that. There you are. Yay, I'm glad. I'm so happy. I felt so bad. I'm like, oh my God, she sent it 6 hours ago. You guys, when I tell you I woke up at 11 p.m. something, just like I've said since the beginning, it's the truth. That's what happened. I'm not one of those people that have to freaking alter the truth. I mean, because you've always, you all know those people who for some reason lie to just lie. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. You guys, many of you should know by now that honesty is, and honesty is very important to me. And there is nothing more that I really hate than somebody lying. Talk all the shit you want about something that's true, but exaggerating it and making something way worse to try to make somebody look bad is horrible. It's just disgusting behavior. And that's what Cher thought. Cher thought I was calling her disgusting and horrible. No. I said her behavior was disgusting. I'm not saying my behavior has never been disgusting because it has, just like every one of you at times. That doesn't mean that everything Cher says is disgusting or that, sometimes people get mad and they freaking react without thinking. They let their pride and ego get in the way. I know that. I am freaking smart enough to know and reasonable enough to realize that I'm not the only one in this world who should be allowed to make mistakes. Yeah, it's up. This text is on the screen. This on about how it happened, how Michelle ended up on the panel. She had never been on my panel before, so I was shocked to get a text from her, you know, asking to come up because she's a private person. I've been texting with her since November, and that has never happened before. So obviously she, had something on her mind, and she just used under the guise of wanting to ask Benny something. And I could tell that she was trying to process while she was up there whether she should say what she was about to say. Wait, what, May? Are you talking to somebody or are you talking to me? Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. You're talking to somebody. Oh, about the money laundering. Well, you're wrong once again. You should probably change your name to I'm wrong. Because it's just not true. You know, if I tell you guys how when I get some information or whatever, I will let you know if it's like I say. I'll tell you, hey, like, if it's something like I heard and but I haven't. I tell you how much I believe it, like, and how much like I trust the person. Okay, I try to tell you as much as I can as far as like who the source is, how close they are to the subject matter. That way you can, if you trust me and what I'm saying, that way you can use your judgment to decide whether you want to believe it or not. I try to show what I can and proof that I can. And I know I don't have to prove myself, but you know what? I'm getting pretty freaking tired of people making a lot of fucking claims and not backing it up with proof. Just trying, just saying somebody's a liar or saying somebody lied or saying this or that is not proof. Is there anybody up here that wants to come up here and show me proof of when of how I'm a liar and how I, any of this stuff? Proof. Do you want to? I mean, Purple, I just saw you all this for some reason live talking about me when I haven't mentioned you one time. Mentioning Karma, really? I think Karma, yeah. Just wait, girl. Just wait. Because this isn't karma. This is somebody's mistake and wrong. This isn't karma at all. I don't know why you think I screwed you over so bad when you are the one that struck a video on me with content you asked me to play in February. When you're sitting there with a channel called something that has a title that refers to drama and try to act like you're not a drama channel. I'm not addressing you because I know it's what you're trying to do is trying to build off my channel. But you're too boring for people to even handle you. Sorry, this is not for you. You're not an honest person. You make a lot of claims with no type of proof. You sit up there and just sound like hateful and evil and you're sitting there lying. I haven't said anything about you at all. And I haven't said anything hateful or mean about you behind or behind, like when the computer's off, to anybody. Once again, another freaking case of somebody letting their mind freaking run wild. But in that case, with this person, I truly believe they are completely just doing it to try to build a channel because they've been so desperate to grow a channel and so desperate to make it on YouTube. And when you're like that, it just does not work. I never was like, oh, I want to go on YouTube and make a living off of it. No, I wanted to come on YouTube and talk to people about similar interests, especially in true crime. I never imagined I would make money on it. Comes more naturally if you just let it, just let it happen naturally. Don't try to push it. Don't try to make up things or make false drama doesn't exist to try to build a channel. It's just, that's not how things go. And then when I go over there and ask you to drop a link, I was not listening to anything you were saying, by the way, because I wasn't going to hear it. I had happened to listen to the first few minutes of your live. But you didn't drop a link, of course, because you knew you completely just made up everything you said. I don't talk about you. Can you show me proof? Stop using my name to try to build your channel. It's not working for you because you don't have the personality for it. That's why you could not grow your channel. I'm sorry, this might be harsh, but that's why it took so long for you to grow your channel, because for one, you were pushing it and you weren't just letting it happen, and two, you're not doing it for the right reasons, and you also don't have the personality for it because you come off like very first, I don't know, you just don't have we all have our own freaking, I'm not a public speaker. I don't really have what it takes for YouTube either. I'm just saying, like, we all have our gifts, what we're good at and what we're not. Doesn't make you worse than anybody else about anything. It's just YouTube's not for you. The reason, and it's because, you don't just go on there. I'm so tired of people just going, playing with a freaking missing child's case by making up, just going up on a pan or going up on a live and lying for views or exaggerating. Or, manufacturing drama. And I was just calling out that one channel because I mean that was definitely the most like what the WTF? What are you talking about? Uh what are you talking about? Nobody's talking about you. Maybe you should go and see a psychiatrist because nobody's talked about you. I made that ever since we talked. I dropped it like I thought, well, everybody dropped it except you. It's simple math. If everybody's dropped it, like I've literally not heard anything negative about you from any of those people that you swear are talking bad about you. I haven't heard anything besides the fact, for maybe like one or two of them just saying that you're still talking about it on your channel. Why? There's no other reason besides to try to grow your channel. Why are you talking about something that does not exist? Like, we seriously did not care. We were so over it. I promise you. Nobody talks about you. Like, you're not even a thought in our minds. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but it's just like how much we have actually just like moved on. Like we said we were going to do. Sometimes you can say some things and really make sense, and that's why I was like, man, that day I came up on your panel, I was like, she's really making sense. She's trying to she sounds fair, neutral. Boy, I mean, man, I was wrong. Well, I mean, I don't know about if I'm really wrong about that, or I'm not saying that you're. I feel like you, if you would be yourself, I feel naturally you're a fair and neutral person, but that's why it doesn't come through. Now it doesn't come through as genuine. What the stuff that you're saying, because it seems like, I don't know, it just does not match your voice. Like what you're saying doesn't match like how you're talking, like the emotions. And that's because you're not being honest. You're lying to try to build your channel. But I promise you, I promise you nobody's been talking about you. Nobody, seriously. I mean, as far as that group that you think for some reason you can't get past, like nobody is. Cher told Dawn to not tell her the real clothing that Dawn or that Summer had on when she disappeared. Like, really? She did? She was full of herself unwrapping gifts and trying on bikinis. What? Really, Mulan? No, I asked Becca. I asked her for a link, and of course, like she didn't drop one. I have no idea what she was saying because I wasn't going to listen to it unless I was up on panel talking to her, because I knew as soon as I got up there, she knew she wouldn't be able to answer me. That she didn't have anything. She knew it because she knew I was going to question her and ask for examples. It's saying, saying, really, you know that you were saying, that's not freaking proof. I want examples, like specifics. Body found. Yes. Yes. She isn't she I think she did try to say that Summer was found, didn't she? And I'm not trying to, I'm trying my hardest to not like go there and start like um bashing her, because it will never it will just keep going and going and going. Because overall, I do think that Cher can be a reasonable person, and she usually doesn't usually we'll see, she usually doesn't like continuously go at somebody. So she had her she had her time today to freaking vent, and I don't understand why she didn't just read my messages, and it doesn't make sense. We have to hold her accountable for the fine clips or something that was not okay. Every creator went to her panel and everyone dropped the drama for that moment, but it was a fake source. No, East Coast Beauty, she talked about me all day today. I don't know how many subs she has. That's not what important. It's how does can you East Coast, you want to explain how subs has, like, how many subs somebody has? What's that mean? How does that have anything to do with somebody's character or who they are as a person? I don't know how many subs she has. I don't think she's actually got much more than me, but she might. Let me see. I don't know why it really matters. She has 17.5 subscribers. I have 14 point what 3,000 subscribers. How long has Cher been on YouTube and how long have I? So you need to take everything into account. I've only been on YouTube since September. She's been on here for how long? I think I'm doing just fine. But thank you. No, I didn't. She's not building her channel off. She's not building her channel off me. I didn't say that. I was not talking about Cher. Please listen. Hold on. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Just reading a text about people, calling the TBI and, about, and Hawkins County and bogging down their systems with this BS is just crazy to me. Yeah, I'm fine, Jane. No, I'm totally fine. You dump share today. Well, oh no, who told me what to do? Well, but tell me to chill out though, East Coast Beauty. I mean, you can't just say whatever you want and not expect people, you know what I mean? You came in and said something like, I mean, it sounded kind of rude. You were like, doesn't she have more subscribers than you? I mean, what's that have to do with anything? I don't think that has anything to do with anything. But if you really want to go there, I think I've done just fine. And so as share. So I don't that's not what this is about because like I told been saying, I don't care about that type of stuff. I care more about being a good person. She basically said, from what I heard, that you're mad. She called because you knew it was, yeah. No, that's not true at all. And if she would have read my messages, I tried to tell her that a million times, but there was a bunch of miscommunication in our messages, and she just, I don't know, got mad when I went live, which I, told her was not. I made a mistake. I should not have gone live about it. Then I was told she turned me privating my video into something bad when I actually messaged her and told her several times if she wants me to unprivate her or unprivate the video for her so she could watch it, let me know. But I was privating it because I felt it was a mistake and I did it out of respect for her. Does anybody else in this I mean, does any other creator have any type of like morals? What, Wendy? Y'all are building your channels up. Are we talking? I don't think we're talking about that, waitress. I mean, have you gone and looked at what my content? Because that's so not true, especially lately. But I will say that yeah, that was the case I started talking about when I went first started YouTube. So if you want to say that, I mean, it is what it is. I'm always going to be honest about what I do on here. I don't just talk about Summer Wells. If there's nothing to talk about the case, I'm not going to like milk it and like regurgitate recycled content. Not unless something happens that is not unless something happens with the case where it calls for that, Cheryl will continue to do this, forgive and forget, and backs up again. She rolls around to whoever helps make her money, coaching Don and changing his image. She's not about finding Summer. I do notice that there is a lot of creators that like to jump on the bandwagon. And when I was that small creator that I was just talking about earlier, and I'm not talking about share. I guess I need to. I just don't. I'm not trying to mention channel names that are clearly just doing things to, they're talking about drama that does not exist, at least in my world. Like we don't even, I don't even think about it, and the people also involved don't even think about that person. But but I find it interesting that today, when there was so many when there was another, channel, kind of decent sized channel like shares, talking bad about me, I find it interesting the ones who just automatically jumped on the bandwagon. It should tell you guys a lot. And about who they are and what they're doing and why. And when I mean jump on the bandwagon, and I don't mean just talking about this situation, what's going on. I mean the ones that are using the opportunity to try to, mainly talking about the channel that put up the Calder Live Karma. When I think when you look at who did what in that situation with me and her, she would be the one that would be getting karma, not me, because I have moved on. I don't even care about it. She's the one that keeps talking about it and keeps lying and exaggerating. She's a big time exaggerator, and she even admitted to exaggerating on the phone with me because she said she was mad. I was mad because I asked her, I said, why did you lie and said I purposely doxed you and then exaggerate that whole freaking situation? And she didn't even she just said because she was mad. I don't like that people who completely lose all all morals when they get mad, or a lot of egos here on YouTube are in pride, when that's not what's important in life, and it won't build the person you are and move you forward in life in any way, not in a good way. I don't know. And especially if we're dealing with people who are, most of these people, we're not talking about, in their 20s, and we're talking about, many of them that are near 40 years old, who have a little bit of experience in life. But when you're at 40 years old and you're still doing childish things and kid things and acting like you're 20 with the drama, that shows me that you've had a lack of accountability in your life. Because it shows me that you have not taken accountability for your actions and grown from them and changed, because otherwise you would be further in your life than you are currently, in your personality, like in your character. Very, oh, that's another, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of creators in this community that are their character they have a character that's stuck at about the age of 20. Oh, thank you. Read this. Who's that? Stay woke. Really? You're caught. Would you like to come up here, please? I'd love to have you as a guest to tell everybody about this. First of all, once again, when speaking on accountability, what did I? You don't know what you're talking about because once again, you're just blowing smoke up people's ass and just talking nonsense. Because I absolutely did say I took 100% accountability in the fact that I was not supposed to have an animal here. But guess what? I took ownership of it and I figured it the fuck out. My landlord did not want me moving out. Played those calls too. I guess you missed that. Come up here and tell me about myself, please. All these people that want to be in the chat and make these type of comments, but they won't come up on panel because they know that they're full of shit. No, what is Stay Woke talking about? Love it, I've already said it. And stop doxing everybody. You're going around making accounts, and after I freaking apologize for falsely blaming you, then finding out it actually was you. You're making accounts in my name, my family's name, my mods' names, their families' names. Stop. Get help with your alcohol problem. Talking about accountability, damn, you are this is a perfect life for you. Stop sending unsolicited dick pics, too. Freaking 40 years old and acting like you're fucking 20. Grow up. This is Levin's account. I did mention her name, but I'm not going to keep mentioning it because just like you were trying to do, you were trying to push her channel the whole time, and that's why I never trusted her, because I knew you were a game player. You're always behind the scenes causing issues. The whole time you did it to me. You want me to say her name because you want me to grow her channel. Just like you were always pushing me to freaking support her. I'm like, well, thanks for telling me that, because now I know not to. Oh, thank you, Ethril. I know there's so many of you supporters that will come up, and I guess I will open up the panel in a second for you, but I'm really waiting for one of these people, Levitt, you can come up and freaking tell me all this proof you have on me too. Anybody who says that they can prove anything that they're freaking saying, please tell me. I will be more than happy. But I don't want to drop the link because until I see somebody that is willing to take the opportunity and prove it. Prove what you're saying. You can prove with your words. You don't have to have absolute, I would like absolute proofs, like screenshots or but if you feel very strongly about what you're saying, I want to know specific examples though. Oh, huh. Okay. I know that's the problem. That's why here. Well, I have a headache, a stress headache from this craziness. I told you I was going to by the way, guys, like the lab was not talking shit about me, okay? I've talked to him. He was not. He didn't even hear. He's just now watching when she came on my panel. So he didn't even like see it. And when he was talking about Tennessee, he was not mentioning me. Thank you so much, Trisha. That's so sweet. Thank you. Well, Nade, I had to address this because today was a real, it wasn't just like any normal drama. Today was there was a lot of, from what I'm hearing, very like serious claims made. And it's important to people to hear my side and hear like on this. I mean, I'm not saying going on and on and on about it for days and days and days, because I usually am a one and done person, and move forward. I just get over things so quickly. So that's kind of a thing, kind of the reason why I get so frustrated with people continuing things that just don't need to be continued, because I don't know any different than, I don't understand people who stay mad about things like for ever and ever and ever, because I've always been like one that I get, like when I get upset, like I get real mad at, if it matters what it is. If it's real bad, if I'm really real wrong, I get real mad for a few hours. I might, do like what you're about to hear in these messages. I might like be angry, and I might, get a little loud, but I just get over it so fast. I mean, it's just, I can't talk on it for days and days, because it's, the passion's not there anymore. It's just not there. I just don't have the same, I'm just not mad anymore, you know? Okay, let's but you'll hear in these clips, this is like soon after started finding out. This is about an hour after I found out what was going on, okay? Oh, thank you so much, Sandra. Are you like that too? You're like that, Tom? Because man, I don't know very many people like that, especially women. You know what I mean? There is some men who just like my ex, like he was the same way. That was like why our relationship like lasted as long as it did, because we both like we would like when we argue, we would get real mad at each other, but it would just be for like, a very short time. It wouldn't last. We wouldn't argue about the same thing for days and days and days. You know what I mean? It doesn't, there's something in my brain that like I realize that it's not going to help anything. But, and I understand we're all like programmed differently, like all of us have the things that make us tick and react and think the way we do. It's called our worldview. It's, how everything that we've experienced in life and nature versus, the nature nurture thing and childhood, all of that added in one is the reason we react the way we do to things. And psychology, some people don't. I mean, everybody, there is something to nature, just people, some people are born more, from birth are, gonna be more laid back or more, you're given these when you're born, it's already, some things are already set, but it can be altered by nurture, by your experience, by your childhood. It can be altered and things can change, but it takes like work. Just how, like, just because somebody seems like a bad person or they're making bad decisions now, it doesn't mean it's always going to be like that. But a lot of times it is, because a lot of people have a hard time like taking accountability. But you know what? There's nothing better than listening to somebody who is like a really wise person who is with life experience and who just seem, just I just find it so interesting. I love learning. I love like try bettering myself, because it's really cool thinking back on how you were at one time and like how much things have changed in your life. And when you experience that, it kind of changes you and shows you like you don't have to be stuck and where you are. Things, your life can change, you know things can get better. There is light at the end of the tunnel, because sometimes like it feels like there's no hope, and I've been there. And when there's no hope, you don't want to change. You have no reason or desire, because why? You know, why would you? That's what you're thinking is. It's like, why even try to better myself if it's just going to be like this anyways forever, So if you got to think about the bigger picture and why you're even here, why are we even here on this earth? Can't be to just come on, to be here to just like cause, just survive and just go with we're here for a purpose. Each one of us has different things like we're that make us who we are, and different talents, and that's what makes the world go round. That's why we have, I mean, we have some people are either, they're an artist. Some people are super intelligent, like with math, or it just makes the world go round. And there's a reason why everything works together perfectly like that. Otherwise, if there wasn't a reason, then there's no purpose. And that's kind of people with no purpose, with that type of worldview, tend to be kind of pessimistic, pessimist. And a lot of times, like, they're the ones that are still when they're 40 years old, but it doesn't mean you can't change. It's just, and it does happen. A lot of people like change late in life, you know I mean, I was in my 20s, like I was around a lot of people who, like, I was like definitely lost. I remember even just sitting and thinking, like, who am I? I don't even know who I am. It was the weirdest thing, because I had, like you guys, like many of you know, I once what was addicted to pain pills in my 20s, and that's definitely a life of no, like, hope. It's very, when your mind is controlled and your body is controlled by something, um you're a prisoner, enslaved to that addiction. And that's all you're focused on, and you are stuck. It doesn't matter, the addiction doesn't have to be a substance, but addiction is really um powerful, and it will, yeah, I mean, it's very powerful. I'm not just talking about like drugs, like, once again. um like, once again, no, yeah, me and Josh are cool, it's fine. He didn't even, I think some people are taking some of the things he said, like, first of all, he didn't even watch that Michelle on panel and stuff like that. So he was just going by what people were saying, and he's watching it right now, he told me. You know? So, and yeah. So everything's good there, cuz when I started to hear stuff about that, yeah, I was like, "Oh God, please do not tell me that," because I would seriously lose, like, hope in any, I mean, because I just feel like Josh, it's pretty good. seemed to me, I think that out of like most of the YouTubers I've seen, like he seems to have the, he's up there in integrity, and I feel like I think some people are mistaking some things that he said was that um personal about me, but I didn't watch it, but I truly believe him when he what he's telling me, that it wasn't anything negative about me at all. And the stuff about Tennessee, he didn't even know that I was going to Tennessee. Actually, he didn't even know that I was the panel that Michelle was on. He said he said he had no idea I was the one that had her on the panel. So he was just talking about what was going on. Hey, Scott. Yeah, I'm like you guys. I agree. I like I truly believe in like birds of a feather flock together, because I've noticed in my life, like at different stages in my life, that the people that surrounded me really, it really shaped who I was. And if you are surrounding yourself, or well, if you're looking up to people who are, it's not just surrounding, I guess I shouldn't say surrounding yourself, but I guess, well, I could say surrounding yourself, because but not just physically, surrounding yourself mentally, you know, you've got to take in, listen, if you're gonna surround your, fill your mind with a bunch of, drama and negativity, eventually that kind of like shapes you, and you kind of, it changes your heart, and it, you know, and it's hard to reverse. I mean, you can reverse it, but I just really look up to people who have like strong moral compass, like Marlene, the term she uses here, right? Now some people pretend to, but usually that's easy to see. Now that doesn't mean just because that doesn't mean that I'm not associated with people that are below what, or that are that have some issues or whatever. I just know like where I was in life at one point, and know that people can change. So, but I try to keep in like a healthy perspective and mindset, and just remember, just I try to, not surround myself, not like become too close with people who, too close. When I mean too close, like with a bunch of like the people that I talk to the most here on YouTube are people that I believe like have strong character, have strong, that are, leaders who are, as far as when I mean leaders, and I mean leaders in that they don't like follow the pack. They follow what they believe is right. Doesn't mean it's right, but what they actually believe is right, and what they truly believe is right, not what their friend think is right, not what their favorite creator thinks is right. So I never I have like, there's certain people, like I will say, um oh, thank you, Tom. It's love. I know. I feel like I'm so about I so am passionate about the truth that I feel like I explain myself because I feel like, and I explain myself and prove myself because I can't ask that of others if I don't do it myself, even though there's not much of that going on, but you gotta practice what you preach. But that's why, like I always say, like, I want you guys to have your own minds and stuff like that, and not just go by what I say. I have like some really man, that's why like for May Hazel, for example. Sorry to embarrass you, May. I really respect May. And I mean, I won't we're we don't really message all or text it or anything much, but I mean she's besides in Discord or on we but I have like a very I respect her, and the reason why is because she's able to state her opinions and go and stick. She seems like to have a strong moral compass. She goes by what she feels is right, whether or not no matter who's saying it, she'll be in a chat full of people who are saying one thing, and she'll say the opposite. But she says not always. I mean, only if she believes that to be right. And that takes uh that takes bravery and a strong person. And I respect that, and it's not meaning that I haven't ever like she'll even say to me all, when she doesn't quite agree with me. I think that's great. But it's the way you say, she says it, and her delivery. It's not, trying to tell me what to do or tell me I'm wrong. No, she is respectful in the way she presents her opinion, which is, many times not the same as mine. And she gets me. Actually, there's been, and when people like that, those type of people, I take more serious when they try to give me advice, because I don't do well with when people just try to demand things with me, demand things of me, or try to you know just like, oh, you're wrong. But there's a few people like that. J Penny's like that. Um, there's several. There's I have several of you guys that have very strong not I won't say strong personalities, but strong like character. Yeah, it's not right. Yeah, it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. Respect has someone. It is. I know, and that's what I was trying to, and that's where I hmm, that's why I try to not like go live right when I'm mad, even though it sometimes does happen because, for one, like I said, I get real mad, and then I just like an hour or two later, I'm just like over it. And then that's the best time for me to, talk about it because I have processed it and I'm able to look at things like differently and better understand the other person's point of view. Like, kind of like with the share situation, I'm going to play those recordings like right now, actually. And you'll see like how much I've calmed down, and because I was mad, but I was trying to, I was louder, and that kind of doesn't, that gets people, when people feel like you're yelling at them or whatever, it doesn't really get your message across, because people, all they hear is you yelling, and then they get defensive. That's just natural. So, oh, thank you, Kiwi. Yes. Oh, yes, Thomas Love. Always be true to yourself. Claims she's coming for you, and every morning Ziggy claims she coming for you, and every video put out. Oh, are you saying share? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what I told her in these messages. Here, let's go ahead and listen to them.
You are just so freaking determined to be right. It's sickening. Like, seriously, you're letting that's what you're mad about? Like, seriously, I'm sitting here telling you I did not lie. Michelle did not lie. Do you want me to lie about something that's not, I mean, that doesn't even make sense. You want me to lie so you could be right. That's what you're wanting me to do. That's what you're wanting me to do to settle it. You want me to say I lied to make, because it will make you feel better or look better. No, Cher, it was not a lie. I have messages from freaking Lawson. He's not going to tell you, a YouTuber, I mean, come on. Do you think he's going to say that? Look, I have messages in from Lawson saying exactly what somebody just told me you said happened. I have messages where he told Michelle you talked to his secretary and that you were from out of the country.
When I hear myself like that, see what I mean? How much I've calmed down since then. Yeah, the louder one talks, the less you hear him. I know, right? I know. So this is why what I'm showing, like, that doesn't, I mean, she actually, it was crazy. But you know what's funny is, and that's the same thing with Cher. She had spent all that time all day, talking crap about me, but actually, she was just tired from her live, and she wasn't really even, saying anything really rude to me in response to what I was saying, because she had already spent the day talking about me. But yeah, usually it doesn't take me a day to get over things. I get over stuff super fast. But listening to that, yeah. See, that was that was a little too loud. But listen, I think I progressively calmed down. Here's the next one.
You were just so freaking determined to be right. It's sickening.
Oops.
Like, seriously, you're what?
Oops, I didn't play the first one. That's the second one. What was this one? Here's the first one. Or no. Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is.
Because I know that you are a good person overall, okay? I mean, when you keep letting this stuff go on, it just like, snowballs. I'm trying to think reasonable here. I mean, I can't believe the voice of reason, Mark didn't tell you, like, this is a bad idea. If he's mad, then you guys are not listening to me. You're not listening to my words, what I'm saying. You're listening to trolls and people trying to start shit. Now you made it so much worse. Now people are live about me saying, oh, Karma's a bitch and stuff. Are you serious? You don't think that what this freaking has caused for me? I have a protective order against freaking a creator that you had in your chat that you're encouraging. It's disgusting. I'm not saying that you are gross. I said, or you're disgusting. I'm saying your behavior was disgusting. I came from a place of, like, love. I was disappointed. It wasn't like, I mean, not like I love you, just like care. I guess a place from care. I didn't come from a place of hate. You went on there, and from what I hear, it was absolutely freaking disgusting. I mean, I can't believe it. And then you're sitting here telling me to don't even go there, or don't even, whatever you're saying, like, you can't be serious. You can't even give me an example of what I said about you that was so bad. This is ridiculous. It makes it seem like you're doing it for clicks. You can't just like let you're seriously letting a thing about you're wanting to be right so bad that it's like taking over your common sense. This is crazy. You want me to lie to you and tell you I'm lying. Sarah, I don't lie. You should know better than that. When have you ever found out that I freaking lied? Have proof of it. When? I always prove everything I say. And you're putting me in a corner now that I'm going to have to freaking prove this shit. I don't understand. You wait now to read through my messages? You wanted yourself to be mad so that you could do this. I sent you 20 messages, like back to back to back, emailed you, posts, put comments on your post for everybody to see. And where I was just, where I said I made a mistake by going live. I don't understand why everybody, it seems here on YouTube, I thought you were different. I don't understand why nobody can take accountability for their own actions. I said in my comments to you that I made a mistake by going live about the argument we got into, or the disagreement. But I sure as hell did not do what you did and come up with every way that I'm going to screw you over and going to look into to try to fuck you over.
Okay, so and I have just one more. It kind of makes me sad listening to it because, because it was I really was just, hey, cracking cases. Yeah, I don't want it to become a share bashing thing. I mean, it's okay to have your opinion and state your opinion, but I don't want people like bashing her as far as like her looks or because that doesn't, to me, when people go there, instead of that's focusing on what doesn't matter, and does obviously when you're doing that, you don't have anything else to say. You're not, it makes you look like it discredits what you're saying when you go low like that, to me. Because when when you're when what you're saying is if when you feel like what you're saying is right and stuff like that, you don't have to argue with hate and try to make somebody that doesn't that you know what I mean, that doesn't prove yourself. It just proves you're wrong to me. As far as and then I'm not saying that I'm like have never there has been times on here that I have said some pretty low things, like as far as where I went low and said something about looks or something. But I really try my hardest not to because and I think Cher's, beautiful. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like I'm just saying that's where people want to go is like the superficial things that don't matter. That's not what matters. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But it has everything to do with the type of person you are when you say those kind of things. But you can change the person you are and stuff like because I've done it too. I mean, and we all like fall short. So it sometimes all of us say things that is beneath like what we what below or beneath what we our standard, you know? So let's be better than that. You know what I mean? You don't I mean, let's I don't want to say bash them with the truth. Bash is the wrong word. But counter them. You're argue or trying to think how to word just people will take you more seriously if you just stick to the facts. What phone call, SV? What type of actual phone call about what? Um, you mean with yeah, I tried to tell her wait, what? Ziggy sent her a screenshot. She forgot to remove the number on it. She didn't intentionally give her the number. What phone number did she have? What do you mean? Like, what phone number did she have? Who was she calling? I guess I'll go through my texts and see what. The cops lady, CPS lady. I didn't have her phone number, so that can't be true at all. Oh shit, no, it's not the CPS lady. Share. Oh my god. See, I just to me shows I know who she's Wait, I think. Did I send her yeah, I think I did send her a screenshot of something that was said. Um that's not the CPS lady. Why would she say that's the CPS lady? I haven't talked to CPS lady since freaking September. I talked to her through Facebook Messenger. I didn't have her phone number. I have other sources besides one person. I need to text that person and just let them know because I think I know who it is. So 1 second. I don't get it. Her having that number, it's not going to screw me over anyway. But she's, it's just like I don't know what. I don't understand. People have like some balls on here. You know what I mean? I'm like, I never would just randomly call somebody. Like even Don wanted me to call his dad and call his daughter and his sister, and I was so uncomfortable. I was like, but I mean, I just don't do stuff like that. Randomly just call somebody. What was she gonna say? Oh, thank you for stopping by. That's really nice. Thank you. No, yeah, Share or not, I'm sorry, Sharon. Sharon, no, it wasn't the CPS lady. I didn't have her phone number, so that's not who it was. I need to I'm going I wish I could pull up I wish I could text while I'm playing my last clip. Hold on, maybe I can play it through my computer so that I can text that person while this plays so it's not just like silence. Let's see here. I mean, I find it really interesting though that she could had time to call her, but she couldn't like call me or even like read my messages to, you know what I mean? Um I was wondering, somebody was telling me that. I was wondering like what people were talking about when they said that she called the CPS lady. I'm like, what do you mean? It didn't I had no idea what they were talking about. Let's see. Okay. I'll play it this way. I don't know. Tell me if you can hear it, okay? Hold on. Okay. Well, I'll do it like this. And I was wanting to mute while I, because this one's like 7 minutes long. It gives me a little bit of break to go get something to drink real quick. But I don't know why she thought that was a CPS. I don't see that. I don't understand why she thought that. See how miscommunication that works? Anyways. You had plenty of time. This is going to be my last message because obviously I guess you decide when we talk because that seems to be how it's been working because, you try to act like, oh, I'm probably crying in a corner is what I heard it was said or something like that. When I was actually sleeping and woke up at like 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard. I was up all morning because of dealing with this stuff. I mean, and for you to just tell me to stop messaging you when I just wake up to freaking World War III. I mean, it's ridiculous. If I don't say this stuff to you here, I'm going to go live and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And I show everything. I show receipts on everything. Calling, this is what I heard you did. I heard you called Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, talked to his secretary, asked if the 4-hour thing is a lie or something like that. She put you on hold and came back and told you it was a lie. That's what your comment or statement from Lawson is. You acted like you had, and you didn't even talk to him. And you're bothering him about this stuff, okay? You don't, I mean, come on. I know there's anger in my voice and stuff, but I just woke up to this stuff. You have to understand that, right? You might be fucking, I understand that you're fucking pissed because you're not reading my messages. You want to be mad. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're letting your mind like go free and think and go by what trolls are saying. You know how YouTube works. I'm a very reasonable person, Cher. I'm a very, very reasonable person. Very level-headed. When I get mad, I might get a little crazy for just a minute, but I calm down. After thinking about it throughout my live yesterday, I started to calm down and think I made a mistake about going live. And then when I was going over my messages, I showed yours and mine, and I was like, okay, I can see right there. She, I mean, I did not sit there and do what you did, and you're just, pointing fingers. When I say I stuck up for you, I mean I stuck up for you last night. I'm not telling you I stuck up for you over the past several months. I mean, I stuck up for you. Anybody in the chat talking shit or, thinking it was time to all of a sudden talk shit about Cher, I was like, no, somebody's saying something. I'm not going to say the comment because I don't even know exactly, but it was something, mean about you. And I said, actually, I don't feel that way about Cher. I'm not mad at her. I don't just get mad and my feelings about somebody is suddenly all bad. Okay. I think rationally. I don't let that shit take over my whole freaking mind. It can do it for a split second, but after you sit and think about it, you calm down. Just like how my messages here have gradually, digressed in anger. Because otherwise I would have gone live. And I'm probably going to end up going live. This is ridiculous. I mean, it is. I'm
I'm sleeping for fucking several hours and haven't said anything, and you're just like on there. How many times did you go live today about me? I mean, seriously, how many times did you go live today about me? Because I don't even know. I know of 2. And if you would have actually heard anything I was saying last night, besides the first 5 minutes, you would have thought, okay, this, she's not freaking bashing me. But instead, you just freaking, you were your worst enemy tonight. And I don't understand. I don't know if what Mark was listening to make him upset, or if he's, but you guys are wrong. I'm sorry. I don't understand why you feel so determined that you have to be right here about a stupid freaking comment. I don't understand, Cher. I don't get it. I came to you first about it. I said it bothered me, and I took it as an attack personally. And the reason why a lot of my comments were jumbled and didn't make sense is because I was also on the phone for almost an hour and a half with Michelle while I'm also messaging you. Because I'm having to ask her if she's okay. Because she doesn't deal with this shit like we do on the freaking daily. And I would think if you were serious about not wanting drama, you would have handled this differently. I think it was fair that you get to go live, and but how many times have you gone live today? What I mean by I think it was fair that you go live, and because I ended up going, it's because I went live and did that. I understand, but you didn't think reasonable though. You're sitting there just attacking. From what I hear, I didn't listen to a damn word of it. And I'm not going to either. Because it was all negative. Unlike mine, which was not like that. My phone's blowing up. It's like blowing up. People saying how freaking gross that was. If the only thing people can tell you is that I dragged you, and they don't give you any example, you've got a question. You ask them specifically, in what way did she drag me? You know how these people are? Ask them for proof. Ask them to get a clip of me dragging you. Something. Okay. I was trying to see, going through my messages of what I shared with her, and I was screenshotting it to show the person so they know exactly what was. It was one message, and I said to her, I guess, let's see. We were talking about, it was the day I was on her panel last time, when we were talking about the boys situation. And I just want her to know, have context on how that happened. Okay. Let's see who. That's great. People are, I can't, it's crazy to me.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, come on. What Ronnie? He didn't talk. C12. She didn't talk to Ronnie to Lawson. Okay. And when I called her a liar, what I meant is that or when I said, I don't even think I called her a liar, but I said she lied, and she did lie. She told people that she freaking has a statement from Ronnie Lawson. She talked to his secretary. Okay. But the biggest lies are what she said last night. Because I didn't listen to her live, but I'm sure there's several of them because she gets, I guess she gets mad and she just says things. But anyways, she lied. She said that Ronnie Lawson told her Michelle is a liar. And she was saying this yesterday, and she was speaking as if it was fact. And she hadn't even talked to him yet. Okay. That's what was irritating. That she was saying something as fact just because she so strongly believed it to be fact and wanted to, and for, she was just so sure she was right that she was saying something as fact and quoting Ronnie Lawson when she hadn't even talked to him. Then when she said that she had a scheduled call with Lawson this morning. No, she didn't. And he didn't call her back either. And the reason why he didn't call her back was, well, for one, he has better things to do than talk to YouTubers about rumors and YouTube drama and whether or not this or that is true. But two, Michelle had already talked with Lawson and warned him that people were going to be calling about this. So, and specifically talked to him about Cher. And he was prepared for those phone calls to happen so that he could, have a heads up of what was going on. He said I have a screenshot of a text that he said he didn't even know who she was. But I mean, I'm sure he talks to a lot of people. That's not saying anything, but bragging about talking to Lawson. Saying, I saw a clip of her live that she did last night and where she was like, she was like exaggerating her relationship with Lawson. Like she was acting like they were just good old buddies, Oh, they talk all the time, because she was up there like saying, well, what Michelle doesn't know is I also talked to Ronnie Lawson. Do you? Because she didn't know, or he didn't know who you were until, like, specifically, he didn't remember who you were until you called today and when he was made aware of the situation. I don't know why. I mean, it's super important not to put out stuff that's not exactly true when it comes to a missing child, and also when you're sitting there trying to quote law enforcement. Then also, one other lie she said was last night, where she said she talked to Lawson's team and had a good old laugh. Not true. 100% not true. She talked to a lady. She did not talk to a man. However, I don't know what happened with TBI when she called there. I mean, in bragging about talking to Lawson like 3 times before is not, I don't feel like some rite of passage or shouldn't win an award. I feel like it should be looked down upon, because what are we contacting Lawson for exactly? Is it something that will help find Summer? Or is it to something that will give us content for our channel? Really, people really need to think about their intentions and why they're doing what they're doing, especially when it comes to serious matters of like this. There's plenty of ways you can get information, and of course we all want to hear from the people that actually know the facts. Of course we want that. But we know that they're not going to give that to us. All we can go on is hearsay a lot of times, and people who have experiences where the situation that happened that Michelle was talking about was not like some people were making it out to be. It was a casual conversation. It was not where he came to her and asked her a favor to put something out on YouTube. I mean, come on. It was a conversation and a friendly banter. And she was talking about the drama on YouTube and all the craziness on YouTube. And he goes, yeah, well, why don't you ask them why Candace didn't call 911 for 4 hours? Just like back and forth conversation like that. So, people are like misrepresenting it. It's not exactly how people think it is. I've been asleep and getting ready to head out to the funeral. I'll catch up in a couple hours, but I want to quickly pop in and say, keep your head up. And you have, oh, I know, we were so awesome. What funeral? I haven't been in Discord today, so I don't. I've been actually, I try to, okay, like I'll go through spurts where I'm doing better about being in Discord, and Who is I don't know. I don't know who. Hold on. Did you see the guy who went to Tennessee with Molly show pictures of Michelle and used her for name? Do you know if she is okay? I feel so bad for her. Oh, you mean JLR? Yeah, I didn't see that, no. No, I mean, she's having a rough time right now. For sure. But Lawson told her to not get involved and to instead, believe in them and not YouTubers. He told her to but she did see shares today and it did affect her, and she was really wanting to go up there and prove herself, but she was really trying to honor, Lawson's wishes of her not getting involved. So it's quite frustrating because while she sent me proof that could put many of these rumors to rest, she has my word that I won't share it. It's not like, if it was something that wasn't like that big a deal and if it would make everything stop, I would, I would encourage her to show it. But we're talking about when it comes to text messages, personal conversation with her and an old colleague, that's crossing the line. I can't do it. I can't, I can't. That's like, I want to. You don't understand how bad I would love to. And maybe here soon, like there will be something that she'll allow me to share that will prove things a little bit more that they do, I mean, obviously she's not going to be able to prove that, more than likely that he said that at that time in that conversation, but she can show that they do talk often, and she does have a close relationship with many of these people. I mean, it's like a family to them, because I mean, you guys got to think, like 27 years is was most of her adult life, so it was a big chunk of who she is as a person. And Lawson was there for, I think, all of it. I mean, I saw a picture of them together. It looked like early 90s or late 80s or something. It's probably not, I mean, I'm guessing it probably had to be 90s, because when you do the math, wait, hold on. Maybe, yeah, it had to be 90s, but it sure looked like 80s. No, she talked to Lawson about it. She let Lawson know what happened, and he's fine. He just wants her to stay out of it, though. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Hey, Suzanne. That's great. I just heard something more about what you, Michelle just told me something more about what you just said about that. I didn't know about it. She said she had a friend FaceTime her today and ask her if that was her on JLR or like something like that. Or asked her about that situation on JLR. Wow. Yeah. Where'd you get that, Scott? I'd ask if you please don't share those, Scott. If you got it off her Facebook before she privated them, before she privated the Facebook, would you please just keep them to yourself? She's really having a lot of anxiety about all this. I walked her through privating her Facebook and stuff. So, oh, thank you, WNC Granny. Baldwin or Foxy. Oh, okay, thank you, Scott. That's funny because I think I might have the same picture. Well, I don't know. Who knows? She has lots of pictures. I didn't grab any of them off her Facebook or anything like that. I just, because she did send me, several. But before I showed that I was that she's actually this person, because anybody could say they're you know this or that person, you know what I mean? But I found her on Facebook, the actual person in the article. I messaged them, and she messaged me back from that account. And I also walked her through how to private that Facebook. And if you go to it, you'll see it's privated. And actually, it's now, she changed the pictures because she had family pictures on her profile picture and in her cover picture. So she is 100% who she says she is. Like, there's no doubt about it. And yeah, she did retire in 2016, but she worked there for 27 years. And, like I said, all her adult life. Oh, you don't have Facebook? That's crazy. You are a local, though. That makes sense that you would have access to something like that. What do you mean her face was shown on my live? Yeah, 100% is. Thank you, Scott, for confirming that. And Scott's a local, and he would have have more information than and live there all his life. He'd have more information than somebody like us. I don't think her face was shown on my live. Was it, Becca? I mean, now it doesn't. It doesn't matter because it's out there. But what she do? Did she? Did it? It showed for a second. Well, I know. I don't understand wanting to hurt her either, Nene. I don't, obviously, like, no, but I mean, not wanting to hurt her at all. No, but I can understand people's like, like, not thinking that, not trusting people here on YouTube. We've seen more um, people lie about who they are than tell the truth. I mean, by a freaking vast, like a huge majority. But I'm when I'm not, you know, I mean, but you have to. I'm telling you guys that from I would let you guys know. I promise you, if I if I felt anything that made me doubt, if anything came up that made me like um doubt anything, I would say it. You guys, I say everything on here. You know that. I'm an open book. Um and I have no doubt in my mind that she is telling the truth. I'm telling you, especially I have less I am like even more positive today she's being honest than I was when she came on my panel. I mean by 5,000 times. Because since then, yes, she's told me she worked at the sheriff's department and retired from there and back since November, or that she told me this in November. I started talking to her in November. Yes, I mean, actually, I might have started talking to her before then, but I start texting with her in November. But she since has truly proved who she is, and she's shown me communications between her and Lawson, and I don't think they're not altered. It's it's how can I say this? I mean, I know that she's not very tech privy. I had to walk her through how to private her Facebook, and it was a little bit of a task. Of course, I had to look it up too because I am so unobservant. I couldn't see freaking something that was like right in front of me. Um, but I know, I mean, have done it before. I've changed the privacy settings and stuff, but I was trying to do it quickly instead of having her just sit there and wait. But she didn't even know. She had no idea how to do all that. She's that kind of stuff, probably the internet and stuff would have been that came out like when I was in high school, when when it started to be in people's homes and became like a regular thing. um so that would mean that she probably was almost my age, around my age when the internet started, like, I don't actually, maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't know her age, but I never felt she was lying. Some people give off vibes that aren't so good. Yeah. Funny how he has the law in his name, Lawson. Yeah, and you know what? Like, oh, really? JLR believed her. That's good. Just like Michelle After Dark. Yeah, and I just hope that their opinions aren't tainted by, people's like hate for me, because that's what a lot of it is. It's like these people don't like me, so they're just have to discredit anything that comes from my channel. But with this, I think it would have had the same impact no matter whose channel it was on. But because even though I feel like the information is nothing like that is like that crazy or anything. Still, it's, when people, it's basically saying it's a fact. When you're saying law enforcement said it, and people like, you have to remember that Lawson is human just like anybody else. He's going to have conversations with people and maybe say, okay, I'm sure he's pretty good at being careful. Just like Michelle said when she came on our panel, when Benny asked her if she got um, access to information or heard information that people like us wouldn't, and she said no. Not usually, unless like something like this where they're having a conversation and something like that comes out, but that not like real you know pertinent, like info that they know on the case. They're very he has a lot of experience. He's been there for a while, so he's pretty careful. And she said that even when she was working at the sheriff's department, like when she was actually an employee there, she said she also they also would have they did also didn't wouldn't have told her anything. Not, I mean, you might hear like something like that, like what she mentioned up here, occasionally, but it's not going to be like you're going to hear all the details, you know. Hey, Brandy Ann. Yes, that's exactly like what happened. And that's why she was worried. Like, oh no, like I said that, she was like, she was worried because she's like, man, I don't, you know, I don't, she's like, I probably shouldn't have done that, is what she was thinking. She's like, oh my God, she was worried that he was going to be upset with her and that she was worried that she caused problems for him when he's already dealing with so much. Like, she said she feels bad for him because he's just so stressed and tired and over the lies of the Wells. And I mean, I think that's something that we can tell. I mean, just look at him on that interview with what it was it W or was it W, I don't know which one it was. It was that WJHL, is that the Tennessee one, or is that anyways, when he was up there saying something about they had lawyered up, or that they weren't cooperating. But yeah, she was like, Michelle is saying that she was kind of like thinking, going back and forth in her mind, like whether, well, maybe she was, yeah, thinking that she made a mistake, and was like, he probably didn't literally mean me go ask YouTubers, and so yeah, she felt bad. But see, people who aren't used to the type of drama and that exists on YouTube, when you're not used to it, you don't, I mean, something like that you just never expect, even though when it comes to a case, but I'm sure I can guarantee she probably won't do it again. That's just like how I was mentioning earlier, experiences form us, and you live and you learn. And she'll, this will blow over. Oh, I text Ziggy because she gets the content. That's how I was feeling, Flame Lily. No, no, it wasn't like a direction. Like I've heard people say, actually it was Cher. I heard her say in our conversation actually, where she was saying, I really don't think, or she was like, do you seriously believe that Lawson would come to her and tell her to go onto YouTube and ask YouTubers to figure out why Candace didn't call 911 for 4 hours? I told Shara, I'm like, that's not how it happened. He didn't come to her. When you say that, you make it look like, or make it seem like, he like showed up at her house or called her and it's like, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you get YouTubers going and let's get Candace talking. Go out there and ask YouTubers to put out there that I want to know why she took 4 hours to call 911. So context is everything, you guys. Like it was you know, they were at the same location at the time and ran into each other. There's a short conversation about YouTube craziness on the case and stuff, and yeah, it wasn't like he asked her to specifically do it, but it was more like Scott said, sarcastically in a way, not like so literal. And she's like, yeah, I have a tendency of sticking my foot in my mouth. But it is what it is, and it happened, and I'm not gonna sit here and freaking try to tell people I lied when that's not the truth. So, I'll show what I can, but I'm not going to. And I trust and believe. I so wish I could show you guys. I won't even show. I won't even show anybody. Like, even no matter if how cool I am with you, I would not. I would not show anybody those text messages. Just because I just cannot risk them getting out. But she did say she was like, there might be something eventually that she's willing to let me show, depending how this unfolds and what but she really does not, is she really, her main focus is she doesn't want to cause problems for Lawson or the case, obviously. So, and that's the thing. Like I've said, she's human just like any of us. We sometimes we all do things, not just Michelle. We all do things that we're like, man, that was kind of, I probably shouldn't have done that. We all do them pretty often. Right, Classy Chatty? Oh, it does. Sky, I don't know what you're referring to. I guess I should scroll up, but probably I'm thinking when you first started YouTube, it blows your mind. Like, let me see what Jane said. I'll chew you up and spit you out. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Lupus. One second. Susan, you have to learn the rules to the YouTube game fast, pretty fast. Yes. Yes, you do. And you have no choice but to. It just and it's yes. And it's quite difficult and overwhelming at first because you're dealing with people who are most are hidden behind a avatar or a name, an alias, and whatever picture they choose, and they're able to type whatever they want anonymously, believing that nobody's going to know it's them saying it. And it's crazy. And those people are the ones that cause the most trouble and issues. Like many of the subs are, I'm not saying you guys, I'm saying the ones like, that say like hateful things and put out misinformation and stuff and lies just to cause drama. They just go back and forth between creators. And I think really that's what got Cher so freaking heated is I'm sure people were just like she said that people were told her I dragged her. I'm like, okay, so you're going by what somebody told you because that's not true at all. Sorry, and she also was, trying to say that I put out or I privated that video for for malicious reasons or not for malicious, that's the wrong thing. For to cover for myself or to hide something. And that wasn't it either. If she would have read her messages, she would have heard heard me say I after time progressed, like I was saying earlier about how I don't stay mad long. As after time progressed and minute by minute, I started to calm down and think more clearly and rationally and realize, okay, I shouldn't have gone live about this just yet. I should have waited if I ended up going live at all about it. I should have waited. And I told her that. I apologized to her for that. But she didn't read it. I sent these messages this morning and she didn't read it till the minute she got off the second she got off her freaking live tonight. Suddenly she opens my messages. I'm like, are you trying to be mad at me? Really? I've emailed you, I've made posts, or I've made comments on your community wall. I've messaged you on Messenger because I know all she heard of my live last night was the very beginning. Like I said, I can be real angry. I shouldn't have gone live at that time. It was too soon after what had happened between me and Sherry happened. I should have waited because I know better that I don't see things the same when I'm that mad. And it doesn't take me long for me to cool off and calm down. Like, if I would have just waited like even an hour, it would have gone so differently. But you can see that for those that were there last night, you could see how my attitude and my voice level died down progressively throughout the live. She wanted to be mad, yeah. Yeah, because it's content. Like, and some people, I don't know. She wanted to be mad. Okay, listen. I do think I did go live and talk about the situation. So it was only fair that she should be able to go live and um talk about it. However, I wish that she would have actually first listened to it all, read my messages, or you didn't even have to listen to it all, but listen to a big portion of it, not just the first 10 minutes, and then go live. That way she knows exactly, like, she would have still been mad probably because I, made the mistake of going live about it, but she would have had more context to the situation and would have seen how things actually were, not how what her mind, our minds play tricks on us and make us think all kinds of crazy things and they just go wild. And then you have subscribers and people like trying going back and forth and trying to go into her and telling her exaggerating and telling her that I was dragging her when that didn't occur at all. I said I was disappointed in her. I said, and I was reading our messages only because I felt like, and I probably shouldn't have done that, but the reason why I did that was because the way that that conversation progressed between me and Cher, I could tell like she slowly became more of conspiracy theory Cher. Um, as the conversation went on, and like she started becoming like suspicious of me, like I was, like I was defending Michelle because I'm guilty of something, and I could tell. And I was like, great. I've seen her have many conversations with people through Messenger and stuff, and she shares it. Like with Robin, for instance, like, or anything. I mean, it's not just her, it's many people. You know, um, I've shared emails and stuff before. Usually, though, if people ask me not to, I will respect that. However, if I expect any hate mail or anything like that to be shared, you don't respect me, I don't respect you. So, yeah, but it's a lot about respect, having respect and, holding yourself accountable and taking responsibility for your part in things. So, yeah, she wanted to be mad. She was livid. She was livid. And even when she texted me last night while I was live and said that, "Oh, I'll handle your ass tomorrow." Even then I'm like, "Wow, she's like way more angry than she should be right now." Um it didn't, but too, I understand because in a way, so like I said, I always try to look at things from all sides, even if I'm one of the sides and the whatever I'm looking into. I try to look at it from another person's point of view and put myself in their shoes. And I know, like, I can relate to her as with being a creator because I do, obviously, we both do YouTube. And I know when people go live about me, I always am expecting, like, it just, you always expect it to be like horrible because that's usually how it is. And them saying the most horrible things and whatever they can think of, because that's usually what happens. So that was what she was thinking. And that's what she was bracing herself for. And even though she heard part of my live, um, she only heard the first 10 minutes, but it was the part it was the worst of it, but she was still like, she was using her experience of the in the past when similar things have happened, and you use that as a way to kind of, prepare yourself for what's about to happen. And when your experience tells you that, you know it's going to be bad, then a lot of times you overreact, and and you are thinking just the absolute worst. So yeah, I'm sure she had that's what, and also if, as a defense, it's the whole fight or flight thing. As a defense, like, you fight, she was fighting back and trying to, because she was expecting me saying the worst things I could think of. So she was trying to say the worst things she can think of and do, and what she could dig up, and who she could call, and what she could expose. So I do this situation with Cher, I do understand where she's coming from. Like, but there is situations in which, now we'll see how it progresses. Like, if she stays mad and if it continues, I'm not going to understand it, because I'm going to understand it as just like, oh, she's wanting drama and the views. But with my experience and what I have, from what my experience and what I have witnessed of Cher, just in my short time I'm being here, though, I haven't really noticed her as one that would be like a TM, that would just, she doesn't just continuously go at somebody. So that's why that's why I have hope that I think it will get resolved and it will be okay. When this situation, now I can't, it's hard for me to look at, I do try to look at people's points of views and things, but when somebody's acting so like, we all act out of character and do things that make us look crazy sometimes and say things out of character. But when somebody when it seems to be somebody's like normal, like how they are, when it seems to be a pattern and constant, that's what I can't understand, because my brain doesn't go there, because I don't think like that. Like, I just don't deal with things like that. I'm not a vindictive person. I get over things, you know what I mean? And that's why with the whole protective order situation, I can't understand it, because I don't feel like the anger, it's all like math. Really, the anger doesn't equal the crime, the not crime, but when things are unbalanced, it doesn't make sense. Like, there's a certain level of um, anger or reaction that should that is typically, it doesn't. If somebody's getting super super angry, overly angry, just because somebody called them a bitch, and they're going on for their freaking months at a time or whatever every day and stuff, it's like, okay, that's then when you might think, okay, that person, um there's something wrong, and they can change it, but they need to see it, a doctor, um or something. They can work on themselves. A lot of times, so those people, especially when, like I said, when they're already like middle aged and still still not making any progress. And it's like, well, you're looking to be like it's looking to be a little hopeless. But that's not true. It's not always hopeless. Sometimes like it just seems it's less likely that the person's going to change, because the more experience and time you have, the older you get, like the more experience you have, and it shows like your history equals your usually is a good predictor of the future. And when you have more history than somebody else, like somebody like a teenager who has less history, they don't have as much to go by, to, you know what I mean, as much experience to take into account. But when you're middle aged, you have much more experience, and you should be at a much different place than you were when you were 20 years old. I still think she showed some signs of PTSD or childhood similar to the boys. My son has PTSD and it comes out in fierce anger. She's like the boys are going to this. It may help them. Yeah, that makes sense. That can make sense for sure. Like our experience in life, especially our childhood, definitely shapes and molds the people that we are. And a lot of times people will tell you like, oh, you need to get over it. You need to get over your childhood. You need to get over, it's like, no, you never get over it. You don't. It feels like yesterday. Ever. You just don't. It's something that it sticks with us. And that's why it takes like pretty much lifelong therapy. And that's what, because you have to, it's very easy to, remain, I don't know, lose, it's very easy to, lose perspective when it comes to, the trauma of childhood abuse and neglect, and it sticks with you forever. You have to constantly be working on yourself when it comes to that, like your whole life. That's why childhood, a person's childhood is so, it's like it's super important. That's what, because it will be with them forever. And they'll remember it. Your kids will remember when you weren't around their whole life, they'll remember that if you abused them, even if you change, even if the parent changes, it's still going to always be there. And there's gonna be times where you'll be 40, 50 years old and you're crying like a baby about something that happened to you when you were 6, 7 years old. And the reason is like, I mean, when it comes, well, the reason is it doesn't even have to be a parent. It could be even, classmates. It's just such a important time in development of your personality and who you are, It's the building blocks of your life. Yep, exactly. I have PTSD. I have nightmares, flashbacks, and sudden panics. I also do a lot to rein it in and remember where I am today. It's about being yes, I love that. Acceptance is what makes healing possible. Yes. You have to, oh man, something that I really had the hardest time and still do, because if I don't like stay present, like Sarah Me is saying, being present is so important. It's so important because it is so easy to live in the past. And it's so easy to have to feel sorry for yourself and about things that were not fair, not just weren't right, that were done to you as a child or whatever. And it takes a lot to be able to, go through that and live through that and succeed in life, How present are you in your own presence and outward? Yeah. That's like what I was saying earlier when I was there was that time I started to tell you guys about how I remember sitting in a freaking jail cell. There was a time I have gone to jail before, obviously, you guys know that. Thinking, because now I was in jail for a few days, and my mind had time to clear from the substance, whatever I was pills I was on or substances. And I was thinking, I don't even know who I am. Who am I? And I know it's so silly, but I just did not know who I was. What what were my strengths? I knew all my weaknesses. It's easy to know your weaknesses. But what positive thing are what is your strengths, and what are you good at? What's your just what makes you who you are? And I was thinking about that. I know it's crazy, but it's I remember it was so wild because obviously I had been at that point using for probably on some type of substance and partying for a few years. I didn't start really using any substances or anything till 18 about 18 to about 32. And yeah, it was crazy. I remember oh my God, I don't even know who I am. I can't even I don't even know what I want to do with my life. I don't even know. Yeah, it's insane. Right. It's not our right, Sarah Me. It's not our business what people think of us. Hey, Sandra Neal. Let me read up here about what Ethereal said about that moment changed. She said that moment for me changed, saved my life. When was that? Right, Classy Chatty. I know. Kimmy Love, I'm totally prepared for whatever, because that's just, you have to be when you're on YouTube, because people just will do whatever. So yeah, I am prepared, but I'm also hopeful because I have seen Cher be a decent person. So I'm hopeful that it's not to me, I just don't, she's not in the same category to me as somebody like TM, okay, or that other one I don't speak of. There, it's just nowhere the same. At least that's how I feel at this time. And I mean, she could prove me wrong, but obviously, but I just feel like she's a better person than those. Or maybe not. Maybe I should say maybe not as sick in the mind as those two. We're all like a little sick in the mind in some way, but some of us are sicker than others. And that also goes back to, because the reason why some of us are sicker than others is because, and it matters what point of life you're in and stuff and how old you are, but many times it's because people don't take responsibility for their actions. It's always somebody else's fault. When you were 5, I saw my best friend tied up in a chair. Oh my God. Through his window. His parents had gone on vacation. I didn't remember anything about it till I was in my 20s. Oh, that's horrible. I have PTSD from my childhood, and there's things that still get to me, like when someone points their finger at me or yells in my face. Someday I can't see a belt without freaking out. I'm almost 30. Yep, that's normal. That is crazy. I've had the same epiphany. I was thwacked out, caught my reflection, and had no connection to it nor familiarity. I know, isn't it? It's the craziest thing. There's certain moments in life that is just stick with you because has your life ever flashed before your eyes? That moment sticks with you for your rest of your life. I got in a jet ski accident one time. And yeah, man. Woo. I mean, I wasn't hurt at all. But there was a split second I was like, this is it. I'm going to die. I remember it. Time slowed down. Just like Chris McDonough said, time slows down during moments like that. It's crazy how it works. No, I didn't hear her live tonight. I'm not going to listen to it either. But I have heard people tell me part of it, and I heard it was horrible. I know. And I know I do have to stop keeping vampire hours. Oh, I hate it. But maybe, oh shoot, maybe we might lighten the mood here in a second and kind of relax a little bit. I mean, I'm sure I might lose some people, but I really want to watch a little bit of the Amber Heard cross-examination. If you guys want to watch a little bit of it with me, but I totally understand if you're not into it. I'm just done talking about the drama. You know what I mean? I've said what I want to say, and I'm over it. See how I seriously am. However, just like I was over the purple thing too, but I guess she's not, and it doesn't make sense to me, because when you only know things like how you react to things. Like when people act differently, you just don't understand it usually. And that's one of the what I was about to say, one of my biggest freaking life lessons as of yet is, and I'm still working on it though, is I've got to it's important to remember that you're not going to figure out you're not going to ever figure out why certain people do things that they're the way that, like why they are doing what they're doing, you know, like when it's a pattern, if it's so different than how you are, you're never going to figure it out. You're never going to understand, you know, why your mom didn't treat you like mothers are, you know, like a mother is supposed to. You know, you're never going to understand why your father abused you. You're not going to understand ever. You're just never going to understand that if it's so foreign to who you are. You would understand it if you're like them in that way, but, or whatever it is. But because I always, and I'm not going to give like a specific or because it's too personal, but that was one of the things that I had to work on and still do. And I remember the specific moment that I had like Ethereal said, that epiphany, and the because I had spent 35, 6 years, or I shouldn't say that because I wasn't thinking about it when 30 years. I spent 30 years wondering why this this why is this person treating me this way, or why they're not treating me, but why they were the way they were, or why they did, you know what I mean? And I was always trying to figure it out. I was always trying to change myself to make it different, like in hopes that I was constantly trying to try different angles and see if it would change how they were. You're never going to change them. You're never going to figure it out. You just won't. And it will drive you crazy if you freaking keep trying. Oh, yeah. Why is such a heavy word? Yep. Always wear sunscreen. Yep. Sounds like my grandma. Oh my gosh. She was always like on us about wearing sunscreen, and because she had always was having those skin, those little spots removed and stuff. And man, was she right, because I felt like I had to go to the tanning bed daily and thought that was cute. Oh my gosh. I look back at pictures. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I remember times where I'd go to the tanning bed twice in a day. I always worked at tanning beds, and or tanning places, usually as like a second job. And I would waitress is like what was usually like what I would do, like my main, job. But a lot of times I'd have my work at a tanning salon, because I was like addicted to tanning at some time. There is an actual You can get addicted to tanning. It's crazy. You're not allowed in the sun? You used to tan a lot too? Is it the medication that you're on, or is it, or if you don't have to say? It is good to get it out and just be done with it, classy chatty. It is. But it's not always good to just like that I'm trying to work on that I'm it's not good to because I know I'm a reactor. Like I can be a little bit impulsive and usually that's a common trait in somebody who's had addiction issues. They're impulsive. And you can work on it, but it's definitely hard to break, like when that's why I know you have to try to avoid things that will cause you to do that behavior. Um, like that's why I try to avoid watching. Like somebody asked me if I'd seen Cher's live yet, and well, many people's asked me. No, and I don't plan on it. I might see clips from people and stuff, which I haven't seen any clips. I've seen a couple screenshots, but no, I'm not gonna watch it. And people, and that's the thing is, most people do watch that stuff about themselves, but I don't feel like it's betters me as a person, really, and I don't feel like it's productive. It's actually the complete opposite. It sets me back, and it's not my business what they're saying. What they're saying about me, really, because I know it's not like I know most of it is not true and exaggerated. Why am I going to sit there and listen to stuff that's like just a bunch of like negativity and that's just not even going to grow. That's not if it was like constructive criticism, that's different, but when it's just somebody just talking shit about you, it doesn't build you as a person in any way besides I mean, it does give you thicker skin, but you get that enough just by just by being on YouTube and, actually accidentally running into it. If you think of, what did it say? English of an English rose, a vampire in a bottle of milk, you get my skin tone practically transparent. There's no such thing as a healthy tan. Trust me, I'm British. It does, isn't it? It's like therapy. This is like therapy. That's what, actually, it is for me. It really is. You just made something click with me, actually. Because, like I said, I came on YouTube to be able to talk about similar interests with others. And, you know, just typing in the chat wasn't doing it for me. I needed to like express it and feel like people were listening. um and going on a panel wasn't I don't feel as comfortable that way. I do like open panels and stuff like that. Obviously, I've done those a lot, especially in the past, and I'm going to start getting back to them. I'm not going to do them like all the time because it is extremely stressful. Just having like open panels and anybody come up and stuff, because especially when you get on a good topic where everybody's wanting to chime in, and thing is people talk over each other, and I'm not a good referee or whatever. I don't not referee, like I don't like to tell people, like I don't know, it's kind of my pet peeve, one of my pet peeves is when and it's quite normal here on YouTube to see creators who take it way too serious and think that like they're acting like they're the president of the United States, and all it is like a virtual chat room that we're just talking to our computer. You're not that important. I mean, none of us are. I mean, come on. It's just YouTube. It's not that important in the grand scheme of things. So you gotta pick your freaking battles and don't. And I always like, I'm sitting here like saying, you gotta pick your battles. If I'm talking to myself too, like a lot of times when I talk, I process stuff out loud. This is how I process my thoughts, and it helps me. It is like therapy. And that's a very good way to look at it. However, only if though I'm, obviously is if I'm talking like only if I'm, not upset. I mean, it does help me to when I'm upset to talk it out and stuff, but you know, I have a really what's that say? I have a really good friend, but they just lose it and treat people like crap. I have tried to understand, but I just don't get it. I would never treat people like that the way that they do. It's out of yeah, I know. It is it is hard to understand, and you probably, you won't figure it out, but I can somewhat I can kind of like I could kind of understand though. But I don't understand the level that some people take it to. That's why I don't understand like how it has to come from a place of trauma. It has to. That's all I can think. It has to come from a place of some kind of trauma where they feel like they have to fight. They're in that hyper, like overly, where they feel like they're backed into a corner when they're really not. It's their self that has themselves, it's their own self that is their own worst enemy and has them stuck in a corner and feeling like they have to fight their way out. We're our own worst enemy for sure. Yeah, I do as well. I speak through myself and actually listen to myself speak. Yeah. I tell people to attempt comprehending. It's my first time hearing what I'm saying as well, if that makes sense. Yes, it does make sense. It does make sense because people that watch me regularly, they see me do it all the time in real time. Like for instance, when something, when something is said that is like, okay, how about when I was live and figured out that that lady was lying about taking in those two dogs of the Wells. And I was processing this, or I mean, I don't know if that's kind of a bad example, but I was processing it while I was live though. And I'm sitting here like thinking and understanding what's going on. That's kind of a bad example. But I do understand what you mean because I my whatever's in my mind, it is it just comes out. And that's, that's why people are like, they'd say, tell people too much on here and stuff. They say, you, I put myself in a position to be judged and stuff because I share too much. Well, that's probably not going to change. I mean, I can I am a private person, but as far as like I like to be alone a lot, but I am just an open book. Just like when you see my conversations with people and when I show them screenshots and stuff or listen, when I play recordings of myself, what I said to somebody or whatever, it's always the same thing you'll hear me say on here. It's never going to be like different. I guess I shouldn't say never, but you know what I mean.